Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 49 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and today we have our players. Same as always, we have Frank, Kyle, Mac, Josh, Abby, and Christo. And we have everybody here. Look at that. We're living the dream, guys. We're all here. Mac disappeared for a split second. We're here. Boom. I think.
Oh, my internet connection's unstable.
It's okay, man. Sometimes I get that notification too, and we just deal with the atrocity that's my visual sometime.
Big mood.
I'm going to go ahead and give us a bit of a recap, and then I think we will be good to jump into things. I believe last time we started off with Saga unconscious. Is that what was going on? I recall some terrible things.
Yeah, there were.
Mm-hmm. It was bad and it was okay. During the race, she was hit with a poison dart. Some of the party was able to come to her rescue because Tordrecht was on Team Medic cart. And that
ambulance.
Just yeeting drinks at people across the way and occasionally giving people a Band-Aid and sometimes saving them from impending doom. But that cart also held Roshan and Eagle. Everybody was throwing healing magic at Saga, which did not heal her poison damage. And she kept going unconscious and waking up and going unconscious, which led to a multitude of different varieties of wild magic, including Saga's hair now being double the length that it was when prior to being poisoned. Nobody else seemed to have anything that could heal poison, and Eagle stepped in after a brief conversation with himself, was able to heal Saga's poison and bring her back, where he asked her very kindly to pretend it was a bee sting, and he will deal with the problem without bloodshed. Saga agreed to that, hoping for that. That's the hope. A tentative without bloodshed.
Promises made, promises. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that didn't really work out now, did it?
He tried. And that's what's important, everybody, is that you try. Which also on better news, Gorbjorn and Fen both won the race. Getting some money, which all went to Gorbjorn because it always does. Because that's the rule.
He's kind of like a cross between the party treasurer and like the party money bag itself. It's a little confusing.
It's kind of like a millionaire in your party who's like, yeah, but I'll hold the coin because I understand it. And I will use it whenever I see fit.
I mean, okay.
And I'll also use it when I want.
We'll just believe him on that fact.
Yeah, the rest of you don't seem that interested in money anywho. But during this time, Nanna goes and has a conversation with Valder, after which she tells Saga that she said yes to the proposal. And Saga is now very excited about being part of possibly planning a wedding. Everyone very excited. We're just going to have a full just planning session just for the wedding. Anybody's welcome to show up. Nobody has to, but it's just a planning session. After this, half of the party is invited to join Eagle for this bloodless meeting to deal with the people are trying to kill you. The meeting then turns to violence, where the man who attacked Saga tries to attack Eagle, and Eagle dispatches him and says he's going to go deal with the problem a different way now, and says the rest of you can go. Which means the rest of you go and have a lovely time at the Jarl's feast. Just a big, beautiful event, music and dancing and food and drink. Half the party's already shit-faced. Gorbjorn tries to flirt with the Jarl, and for the first time ever is denied ever so gently. Devastated, he goes and just looks for different people to talk to and dance with. Devastated.
Someone to dance with.
During this time, the party believes the prophecy is confirmed about a predator sitting in a white throne at a feast, which they believe to be Freyroon, who is sitting in a chair with her white fur behind her, engulfing the chair in white bear fur. Also, this is when Valder steps forward with Nanna and does the proposal live. Welcome to Proposal Live.
Woo!
Where there are cheers and excitement, and the Jarl sits there, eyes wide, eyes screaming, mouth smiling, as she watches this happen. And Nanna stands with Valder, and they kiss. And that is where we left off. Now, because, just to catch everything up, we're going to go back in time for just a couple minutes. Once again, back in time.
Back into the void.
With the conversation between Valder and Nanna. Nanna is able to tell Sven that he could come along, but it's a more private conversation. Sven decides to hang out with Gorbjorn, who spends time doing his makeup, which he later then douses off of his body with half an ale. But this is the night of the feast, which is when Valder is expecting his answer. Nanna, you had both decided that you would meet at your place. Just a safe place where probably nobody is going to hear you, and it's not as crowded or less people than if you went to go talk to him in his room at the inn.
Yeah.
He sits inside with you, and I'm sure there's a moment of light chatter, and he looks to you. I'm sorry I couldn't do more wooing. Really would have liked to.
Well, honestly, don't tell anyone this, but I'm not inexperienced in the ways of, I suppose, how do you say, romantic situations, but I'm less experienced with the courting proper. So perhaps it's better if we have a chance to sort of feel our way forward together.
I can't disagree, but sadly, we're not in it for that, are we? At least I'm not. Once again, I am willing to be whatever you want me to be in this relationship. But the end goal is the safety, the unity, and the strength of the West.
Of course. That is ultimately all I want. It's all Ave wanted, and I cannot think of a better tribute.
You may ask me any questions you see fit. I have been thinking on our story. I more than likely will tell my sister everything after I am done. I don't want her to think this is some attempt at power against her, so I will probably tell her the truth later.
I would very much appreciate it if you would clear the air with her. If you want me to be there, I will, so long as I'm not the one delivering the news to the Jarl, you understand?
Of course, I would not ask that of you. I don't think I'd ask that of anyone. Is there anything that you would like to ask me beforehand or going into this, or what you see of this? And then, yes or no?
Well, I want to know what you would do, either if I said no, or if for some unforeseen reason things went wrong.
I already told you that I would hold no ill will. This choice is purely yours. I currently lead the Rhodesmen. That has held my attention for many years, most years of my life. If this were something that were to fail, or to never even take off, as it were. I think that's where my attention would turn, and it would turn to strengthening and broadening the horizons of the roadsman, which is something I plan on doing anyways. But I think that would need to be done more swiftly if this did not take place.
I have to agree. It seems to me like things as unstable as they are right now, it's honestly something of a stroke of genius to have something as traditional and as simple as a marriage to unite the people, to bring us together, to invite a celebration instead of war.
I agree. And I will also preface the other side of this besides the business, I suppose. You are under no obligation to ever want and or need to love me. If that is something that you do not see as your path, it is not something I will force upon you. If you wish me to continue courting you, I shall. And we will maybe grow a deep bond of friendship. We could truly be partners who love each other. I do not know. But there needs to be the facade of it. But what you do outside of it is none of my business.
I appreciate that freedom. I do. That is something I have clung to tenaciously over the years. It may be fear of losing freedom that drove me to the wilds in the first place. Who can say? But the fact that you are willing to give me cooperation and friendship, whatever may happen, however things may progress, means I believe I can safely say my answer will be yes.
He smiles wide, sort of a sheepish smile that you saw when he was actually proposing, ignoring the mishaps in the middle. And he smiles, a little blush to the cheeks. Good. And now things are going to move very quickly, and I apologize for that. I will make the announcement tonight. I will physically propose to you at that time. I hope this isn't a trick and you say no, and that would be devastating, but I don't take you for that type of prankster.
Perhaps once upon a time in my youth. You can ask Roshan about that sometime. But no, I've outgrown pranks of that caliber some time ago.
All right. And because we are playing a part, you are welcome once again to say no to this. I believe that after the proposal, to make this look authentic, we should kiss. And I wanted to make sure that you knew about this first and wanted to ask if you would prefer our first kiss to be in front of everyone or perhaps more private.
More private for a first kiss with most anyone is generally my preference, if I'm being honest.
I have a similar preference, but it's not about preferences for me, at least at the moment.
Well, I propose that we consolidate our partnership over a practice kiss right here and now. How do you find that?
That sounds like a good idea. A nice practice kiss to prepare for the real thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a great idea. Thank you for suggesting it.
I had hoped that it would be an appealing compromise for you.
I think it is. And then he would lean over and kiss you.
Cute. I would. I'm just like
Cute.
nah.
Oh,
Golly gee, I gotta find a better way to differentiate my out of character from my Nanna.
Cute.
Cute. That
actually
sounds
pretty
very
cute, dude.
Nanna. Everybody knows that's how Nanna sounds.
Yeah. Gosh,
Obviously.
sweet man. It's me, Nanna
ja.
Hemming.
Oh, dude.
Socks. Nanna
Nerds,
Hemming.
it's me, Nanna Hemming. Prepare to get a wedgie.
That is so righteous.
I love new Nanna Hemming. We've been through a lot of Nanna Hemmings recently.
This is basically Nanna Hemming as the athletic influencer on Instagram, I guess.
Hey guys, it's me. And from that kiss, it leads to the very public kiss after the proposal in the middle of the longhouse next to the Jarl in front of all the chiefs that really matter and all of your companions.
That's why we did the practice kiss first.
Ro leans over to Saga and says, "It looks like they've done that before."
Yeah, do you
God
think they
damn
like
it.
practiced or something? Like every year.
It has a practiced feel to it. Yeah.
Yeah, they both know which way to put the nose, and yeah.
Yeah. He went 80, she went 20. You see, it's been practice.
Seems like it.
My artifice is undone.
I'm gonna make her roll performance for it.
Well,
With
if you-
advantage because they practiced.
it seems that your friends want you to have a terrible kiss on stage.
Just joking.
Nope, it's happening now. This is what has been given to me.
I'm
Valder
so
will
sorry,
give you
Mac.
advantage. So you have advantage because Valder is there and you both practiced and it's like a dance. And it's-
Practiced really hard. Oh God, not hard enough.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I think the fact that you don't have video makes that better because it's just from the
They're screaming just
Yeah.
from the abyss.
yeah.
Okay, the better one is a 5.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
You're
Thank you for this
welcome.
opportunity, Kyle.
And what
I
have you done?
appreciate
Kyle.
I'm happy to have it.
I'm so
Um,
sorry.
So let me now re-describe the kiss. He stands, he's as red as you are in the face.
Yeah.
You both go into kiss, and there's that slight moment of slight hesitation, and then your teeth clack together,
Oh,
and everybody's watching.
oh
and
my God.
He looks at you and he presses his forehead against yours and just starts laughing. And then gives you a very soft, very quick kiss that one could not ruin his, like, could not split his upper lip with.
That's better.
But you're like, she practiced that bonk bash boom.
I feel like maybe it, like, at this point shifts to be like, do you think they practiced? I
Dude,
wonder.
No,
should have
no, I don't think they
practiced.
did. They should have practiced.
No. Yeah. Then they find out later you did.
The Jarl stands and raises her drink. And if the Jarl raise their drink, everybody raises their drink.
Everybody raise their drink.
Everybody lifts a drink to the happy couple, and takes a long sip of their drink, finishing it, and makes her way over to both of you, smiling. And she hugs her brother close, and she like reaches an arm out and doesn't hug you as close, but does put an arm around you to like pull you closer.
That's
And she
understandable.
whispers directly into his ear, which you can hear because you're right there.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? He's like,
Nanna's keeping, the smile,
he's just leaning away slightly. And he keeps the smile. They're both smiling at each other. And he looks to her and he's like, I'll explain later. And she's like, you fucking will. And she clasps his shoulder and squeezes it, and then turns again, another drink. And people cheer and more drinks are poured. and people come up and start congratulating you on this new union.
Fantastic.
So the thing that I will add for you is during this time, Valder explains how you two met, which was because you were a ranger and he was a rhodesman. You both went on missions that sort of made him go a bit more north and you a bit more south. And eventually, you guys kind of met each other. Just from the fact of kind of having to do a little side work outside of the normal area you normally worked in.
Sure. Yeah,
time,
understandable
met each
that
other
like
more
borders of
often.
workspaces would overlap some.
So it overlapped a bit. You guys met once a few years ago, and then over time started to meet each other more and more, and eventually love grew.
It was just beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Storybook love.
The sunset. But that is the story you are given, is that you guys met through work.
Yep.
It's always business, but this is much cuter looking business.
Yes.
Also, you are approached by Hertha, who comes over and hugs you. I don't know if you've ever met that man in your fucking life, but congratulations.
I'll explain later, Hertha, I promise. It will all make sense.
Honestly, nothing's made a lot of sense recently, so
Well,
whatever
that's
you
fair.
say.
I'll do my best to make it make as much sense as I can.
I'd love you to roll insight.
Okay. Golly gee, I even tried changing dice, man.
Nope, off you game.
I guess so.
Too flustered.
Too flustered. What am I rolling? Insight?
Yes, Saga? Yeah, you're rolling insight.
Can I look around the crowd to see how everybody reacts to this announcement?
I would love you to do that. I'd really appreciate that.
Oh wow! No problem.
Thank you so much. Inspiration
Yeah.
goes to Saga.
What?
Woo, inspiration point.
That's fair. That's fair.
Hey
That's
guys,
fine,
I
that's
remembered
fair.
to give out an inspiration point. Thank you for your time.
For that? Okay. All right. Let's
Maybe we could start doing that in chat occasionally. I'll ask people if people deserve things.
I don't think I deserve an inspiration for this role.
Is anybody else interested? Anybody's welcome to, besides probably our shit-faced people, who I just don't expect to be super good at that right now. Yes,
Probably
Saga?
not.
I kind of want to use Tides of Chaos because
You should use Tides of Chaos.
Okay.
Oh boy.
See what happens.
Yeah. No, I'm
Oh,
not letting
much
you
better.
do the thing right now, though. So I'll hold on to it.
Oh, okay.
I
Cool.
15
know I've been
total
making-
for me.
What was it, Roshan?
15.
Dirty 20.
Better
Better than a 3.
And what did you get on your insight, Nanna?
I got a 7.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Off your game, flustered,
Very.
overwhelmed.
Uh-huh.
90% of the time you're in the woods, and maybe that 5 people are there tops sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And they're not all looking at you.
Yeah. And not looking at me after I just clicked.
And you
He's
certainly
against the
don't.
second most important person in the kingdom. It's
Yeah, this is an important kiss.
fine. I
Roll
fucked it
some.
up.
Ooh. Oh God. Okay. Nobody can. If somebody wanted to be deceitful, they're not gonna be. Most people seem to. The people who do not have a heavy connection to this. This information is going out to both Saga and Roshan right now, and then I'll tell Saga what specifically she gets. Most people seem excited because, first off, most of them are drunk and they're at a party and they're having a good time, and there's a proposal, and that's cute, and we like it. We're having a good time.
Have the good time.
The people of importance. You can just see in the eyes of the Jarl that she's kind of pissed. You can tell that she does not like being taken by surprise, and is not having a good time, but is currently just fully hiding most of her face now behind a drink, and is going with that for the time being. people
I
who
really
look
hope Balder knows what he's doing.
maybe. He also just kind of hangs out in the middle of nowhere a lot of the time too. Um,
Oh yeah.
Another person who catches y'all's eye is Vandale Stormer, who seems like he's like clapping when people clap, and he has a slight smile to the face, but you can tell that he's worried about it. He sees it in a not so appealing way to him, and looks like he's trying to kind of figure out the situation, him personally. All of his children seem very excited. None of them seem bothered. His wife is distracted, so she has no reaction to this almost at all. Another person who shock awe doesn't give two shits and is barely taking the energy to clap is Freyroon and Nadia.
That's
they're
not
just
surprising.
sitting there. At the beginning, like when the drinks happened, they like picked up a drink to drink, but that's about it. No fucks given past that. Hertha, this is for you, Saga. Hertha looks kind of hurt. She recently had a wedding. And I think it may be more of a sentimental sad, but she does seem a bit hurt. Covering it pretty well, but she seems a bit hurt. Was there anybody else of interest that I did not bring up to you?
Eagle's not here, right?
Eagle is not here.
Yeah, I didn't think he came.
He's also dealing with business. A lot of business tonight.
What about the other roadsmen?
Oh, Selby
they all know.
and Agnet.
I need to know their faces.
Oh, you know Jack Diddley. Selby's having the time of his life. He loves this shit.
Of course.
Agnet will clap and drink when the people drink, but she doesn't seem as interested, but participates. But Saga, it's not like you sense an ulterior motive. It's just that she's like, that's the amount of excitement she can muster. Like, that's what she has in her. And she's starting to get drunk. And she's running on winning an arm wrestling high. So, so she has that going for her. Yeah, I think those are the people that matter. Yeah, they all. I didn't roll over a 10 for anybody besides Hertha. So, you are all now. At this point, people start bringing out more food, sort of to kind of bring people to tables. Some people are still up and about and doing a lot of things, but now food is being brought out. A lot of chiefs have come together to sit and talk with each other, and it sounds like all the conversations are high energy, fun, a lot of laughing, recounting the old days, as it were. Is there anything anybody wanted to do at this time?
Roshan needs to just meet with everyone individually and tell them we're expected to meet with Freyrin this evening. So to meet outside of her tent after the festivities are concluded? ?
It depends on if you would ever say this is going to conclude fully. But
Yeah, that's the point.
Wind down, I suppose, or maybe transition into the night shift.
Yeah.
yeah, there will be a time where it's like, at least Freyroon is not here anymore, probably. Unless she's a party animal, and we just don't know.
No one
Maybe
knows.
that's her deal.
When Roshan comes by to let Nanna know this, I just want to make it known that she just looks absolutely mortified at the thought of doing anything else social in front of anybody else important at all until like tomorrow or maybe next year.
I need a year break. Don't make me talk to anybody.
I should be able to. She approached me, so I should be able to lead the conversation. I just need you there for moral support.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Yeah. No. Of course. Moral support I can most certainly provide for you. I don't know about much of anything else, but we'll find out. I need another ale, I think.
Don't go too strong.
Yeah. Oh, God, no. That would be worse. Maybe I
Drink
need
some-
water.
Yeah, water.
Okay.
Water sounds good right now.
All right, I'll do that. Nanna toddles off to find some water.
So you go to each member of the party and tell them that you are meeting outside of Frey Rune's tent.
Mhm.
Okay.
Roshan, what do you need me to do?
I suppose just meet us there for now. We don't know what she's going to want, and I can't say.
What condition do you need me in? Do I need to be attentive?
Just maybe have some more water in between ales.
Don't be shit-faced.
Fenn's already a little drunk.
Oh, no. Maybe save the next one till after.
I'll switch to water if you think I need to.
I
Even
think it
though-
would be prudent.
Yes. Because you're asking me to.
We can come back after and drink the night away after.
All right.
So Tordrick, he has been moving around and doing a lot of clanking of drinking horns and such, and he moved his way to the back where last time during the session some people came in that perhaps we are questioning whether or not they're with us or against us, and he watches, and when the announcement is made, he on purpose goes over to anyone that's not smiling and excited about what's going on, and literally like blows the ale foam in their faces and goes, blessed to the new couple, and just sprays everybody with beer that's not smiling and having a good time, trying to break their state of whatever and get them rolling. Of course, you know.
I just want to clarify super fast. Just super fast.
Oh boy. Careful.
There's definitely people you can approach and do this to. That's fine. I'm not telling you can't. I'm going to ask you very specifically, are you going to do this to Freyrune and Nadia, who are not looking excited about the union?
Yes, it will be in a area of effect.
I'm getting everywhere.
Tordrick is good at spraying beer, either or
everywhere.
You know, that's his holy water. So, yeah, that whole area that whole area needs some blessings. So, in the name of the Nine Sisters, yeah.
First
And
off,
Daniel say Lady Seder too, as he's been working on some of that. So, yeah.
I'm feeling it today. Inspiration point to Tordrick.
Do it.
But just gobsmacking me. I'll throw these around today.
Oh boy.
A lot of people seem pretty chill with this. It's kind of a smack in the face. It's a burst of energy. It's like, I should drink and be merry. You're right, my man. There are two people who do not have that effect from what you are doing. Foam. Jesus Christ.
Dripping off her
I'm in a
titties.
nightmare. Hits just across Freyrune's face. And I'd love you to roll insight, Tordrick.
All right.
I'm happy to be here.
I get advantage, right? I can tell.
Yeah, you can have advantage. Take it.
Well, it was 24 without advantage. So.
Who needs it?
Who needs it
Who even needs it? You know, I'll have a roll just in case. I don't think she's hiding this, though. Tordrek, never in your life have you ever felt such a radiating anger from a person, all condensed into the eyes. You can see a blood vessel pop in Freybrun's eye as she stares at you, teeth gritting. Nadia, who is trying to wipe foam off of her shirt, looks to Freyrun and goes over and starts to like takes her hand and starts trying to like clean her face and is whispering into her ear. And you can see her fists are clenched, just nails digging into her palms.
Tordrick will take a deep breath and realize what he's done and who he's pissed off. And he'll slowly walk over and put his head down and say, congratulations to the new couple, and sorry. Care to dance? He smiles and kind of does this like little wiggle.
I wasn't emotionally prepared for any of this. I'm having a good time. I'd love you to roll persuasion with disadvantage, Tordrek.
Oh man!
Can I have seen any of this?
You know what? Everybody can fucking see this. Everybody can see it.
I just want a minor illusion, a little
Sees
shine
this
on
from
Tordrick's like teeth or something. So
Damn! I rolled the natural 20, but I got
I would
the other one was 11 altogether. Damn.
What is it all together?
Well, my low one because the disadvantage was 11.
Okay.
Oh, I want to just help.
Damn, not 20. That'd been I'd be
like, it's time for a break.
Early break.
You can see Freyrun's eye contact has not left you and is like starting to like, you can see like red creeping around the ears. And she takes a deep breath and it dissipates. And her body relaxes. She opens her hands back up and you can see the little half moon injuries from her nails across her palm. And she forces up a smile. No, thank you.
Does that mean she did 1 damage to herself?
Yeah, I'll give her a damage. I'll give her 10. She dies.
Oh my god.
No way she only has 10 hit points. I doubt it. I will not accept that.
Yeah.
Press X to doubt.
She grits out, no thank you. And Nadia chimes in. Thank you for your consideration. The lady is fine.
Can I start? I want to start. Oh, go ahead.
Tordrick looks at her with a bit of a pout and takes 2 steps back and starts going like this and looks for somebody to start like a little conga line thing, celebrating the new couple.
I wanted to start playing a song that's like from her, like Freyrun's town, like one that I heard when we were there. So then maybe when he starts the conga line, I can start playing the song.
We're friends. We're all friends here.
Everyone's happy and likes each other.
Wishful thinking, Saga.
Yeah.
Saga, roll performance for me. Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
22.
Okay. You have a vague memory of the tone of the music that was played while you were there. So you're like, oh, I can play upbeat dance around music.
Yeah.
And Tordrick comes over and the conga line is almost instantaneous. People are happy to jump in. You all are welcome to jump in if you see fit. Anybody is welcome to join conga line as people are trying to as food is starting to be passed out. Tordrick is leading a group of people just like weaving around tables, and people are cheering and having a good time as Saga follows along playing music. And you can just see Freyroon like recovering slightly, like taking a moment to herself, like just slow breathing, and then kind of straightening her back out. Overcoming the audacity to her of what just happened. It seems Tordrick is not intimidated by tits out energy, and it's good to know. Unintimidated. He's like, yeah, okay.
I've seen those before.
She should have been a redhead.
And the party picks up again, and people start to grab food and eat, and people are having a good time.
I will say, when Tordrick's doing his conga line around, Nanna will join and she will drag Valder into it, because as the new happy couple, we have to be celebrating.
We must.
And, if Nana's going to be doing it, then Valder needs to as well.
Does not take much convincing. All of you join into the conga line as well. It's a fun event. Everybody's having a fun time, besides like the moment of fear. And the fact that you found out that Freyroon is more than likely this enemy for some reason or another, in some regard. But food is brought out. Some people dissipate from the conga line because they want to grab food while it's hot. And people are still having a good time. And while people grab food, you all watch as Vandil Stromer stands up. And Vandil is an older man. He's a bit older than Ave was. He's probably in his 50s. Salt and pepper hair, tan skin, covered in black tattoos that are all of constellations. And he stands up tall and broad, and is very noticeable, sort of standing in this like authoritative way. And he begins to speak. This year I have lost 3 friends. 3 men I have respected dearly, fought alongside, and at a point in time fought against. But through all of that, we came together as the West. And he raises a drink, and he drinks from it. I will not ask Chief Bromson to account his father's death. And he looks over to Alec, who's been keeping pretty quiet and to himself during this. He's been sitting at his table and just being just kind of out of the way. And he looks to Vandal and gives him like a sort of like a thank you, bit of a nod. Anybody who is proficient or half proficient in insight can roll insight. If that's anyone.
Not me.
I'm too busy
23.
eating.
24.
Playing a song.
So who rolled? Hands up real quick. And Tordrick rolled very high. What did you get, Roshan?
1 less, 23.
Ooh, your eyes penetrating into people's hearts. You can see that he most certainly, he does not want to talk about his father's demise because of his dementia. And, but you see there's a bit of, there's something else there too. Just a bit of nerves. And then Stromer turns his attention to the rest of the people in the room. I wish to hear how Herserson and Hemming's son fell. How my friends fell. I am tired of reading it in letters and hearing it secondhand. I am done with it. I need to hear a story.
The happy music slowly gets quieter.
The conga line slowly. I need to hear it from someone's mouth. And the first person to stand up after this is Freyroon. Freyroon stands up and Nadia places the fur back atop her shoulders. Your love for my late husband it warms me on this cold winter's night. Thank you for that. Strick was the embodiment of strength, life. He had a taste for it, and a maid and I heard the sound of struggling. We approached the sound, which was coming from our bedroom. We moved slowly because I, at the time, was afraid. I moved slowly out of fear because I was worried what I would find behind those doors. And I found him with his axe in hand. His throat had been slit. His grip on his axe, we could not pry it from him if we had tried. After the scene was surveyed, it is assumed that the killing blow to his body happened at the beginning, and he continued to fight until he could not. That he pushed through in spirit until his body could not. Until his body was done. And I worry, and I know it is not my fault, but I worry my hesitancy led to his death. But I swore in that moment that I would not fall to cowardice again. He was a fire, and I will burn on as he did, brightly. And you watch Vandal raises a glass again, and people drink. And Freyroon waits for Nadia to place the cloak back upon the table, back upon tablecloth, back upon the chair, and she sits. I'm reading a message, sorry. Go ahead.
Roshan would take a few seconds, like immediately as they were asked to speak, to send a message to Hertha and Nanna and see if they wanted to speak or if he should.
You send out this message. I'm gonna roll something real quick. Okay, and then one more time. Okay. Yes to all questions posed to me. Sorry, sneaky questions in the background. As you're sending this message asking your friends, of these people who would tell the story, if they would like to, Stormer stands and points over to Saga. You are a bard. You've been playing all night, and I've heard you were part of the party that was with Hemmingson.
Oh, I'm not actually the bard. That's Roshan.
So you could not speak of the event?
Well, I mean, I could, but I don't know if I'd be able to say it as eloquently as he could. Farron said hers so nice, and I don't know if I could do that.
Roshan will stand up and interrupt her. out of kindness.
Thank you.
And
Sparingly.
Say Ave was always a private person. He was my teacher for more than 10 years. And he gathered a group. He didn't say how we were chosen, just that he'd received a vision of us collecting an item of power that could save the encroaching darkness on our town. He led us north and west, up along the mountains, along the coast, and into a... Okay, hold on.
Pause. Beep, beep.
Beep,
Josh didn't live
Josh.
it, Ro did.
Yes, yeah. No, yeah. It's okay.
So
Backspace, backspace,
he told
backspace.
us where we needed to go, and he started leading us there. When out of the valley, a group of people came, and Ave seemed to recognize them. He was asked, he met with them in the middle with just their leader. A man we later came to know as McKeel. And they had an amiable talk, but it was clear there was something wrong. And as they both drew weapons, the other was just faster. He stabbed a golden spear through Ave. And before we could react, Ave was gone.
That was a lot nicer than I would have done. That was really good.
Van Deal raises a drink again. This is probably his third drink in the last 3 minutes. I appreciate you all telling me. Thank you. It meant nothing. The words on paper. It meant nothing. Thank you. And he sits back down, and his wife leans over and sort of squeezes his arm a little bit. The Jarl stands. I have some questions, if I may.
Does she look at Roshan?
Looking dead at you, Roshan.
All right.
Good. That's okay then.
Saga's
He
like,
will-
oh, thank God. Ducks out.
I might actually just try to get into like a crowd.
You just sink slowly into a crowd. You're like, okay, you got it.
Just like stands behind me.
Yes, I do
You're
that.
like, that one. If you stand behind Gorbjorn and Agnet, nobody's ever going to find you ever. So
Perfect. That's where I go.
Hooray!
you're
Hidden
fully
behind the
gone.
giants.
Jarl is stood and has moved forward a bit. You said that you saw these this McKeel come from the valley. Where were you?
We were still east of the mountain range at that time, south of the valley. It's not a place I recognized. There was no civilization.
I see. What did he look like?
Ro will give an honest description of Gold Chin Joe and their trappings, so their white cloaks and fancy dress.
Do you describe Eitri as well?
No,
Okay.
unless she asks.
Yeah, she was not brought up in your story, so the Jarl would not know to ask, so that is avoided. Okay. They have broken laws of the West. If they were exiting the valley, they have broken my laws. Thank you for this information, this description.
Roshan will raise his drink to her.
She not and vice versa. If anybody raises a drink to the Jarl, everybody also
Everybody raises their drink to the Jarl.
And people drink. And she stands where she is. I am honored. I'm honored to stand before all of you. It humbles me. Your loyalty humbles me. As a gift to the chiefs that stand by me, that continue to stand by me, you may ask each of you one question of Helka, a question for the gods. And if you wish not to ask, you may send one in your stead. But each chief may speak to Helka once. You were owed this gift. Raises his hand.
Corbyard, you're not a chief.
He's a prince.
Well, yeah, she was asking about chiefs, not princess.
Oh, me. And there is a bit of a murmur through the crowd. This seems to be a very big deal. Getting to ask a question of Helka and the gods. And with that, the Jarl motions for somebody to fill her drink. And it's kind of like the lull in the party, and then it's back up again, boys, as everybody takes back off again.
No doubt, Tordrick leading on.
Oh, yeah, just slowly, he's like, and then the train returns and like starts going.
Choo-choo.
Is there anything people would like to do at the party? Just asking if there's anything else in particular. I almost forgot, Roshan, give me a deception roll. You almost got out of it, baby.
Wondered when it was coming.
You're just like, if I stay quiet, maybe she won't make it. Give me that roll,
I should have
baby.
spoke sooner. There's a lot of things I need to do.
22.
Okay. Saga, go ahead. I have a few dice to roll.
Okay. Shit. I was nowhere near Roshan, was I? Should have given a guidance. Well, while I'm there, since they just talked about asking gods about advice and everything, and then Saga's like, whoa, what a good idea. So she goes around and tells people that if they have any questions for Lady Satyr, that I'm happy to ask. And then I'll like make sure that let everybody know that I'm available for
There's some
service.
drunk guy who's like, is she hot? Ask her if she's hot.
I actually saw her recently, and I'd say so. Probably if you're like into fins.
Nice.
I mean, I'm imagining he's like an old sailor. He's like, yeah.
He's like, finally. I've been waiting for
a
this
woman
day.
for me.
Saga, you start to go around and be like, "Ooh, I can do something similar if you guys want to ask my god any questions." I'm set up outside of the new shop in town.
I let everyone know where the temple painting is and that the temple is outside of town at the crossroads if they're interested in paying
Yeah,
respects.
you start selling the Lady Seda business. Anybody else?
Fen's just hanging out at whatever table Agnet is at because she's the only one that looks as, I mean, aside from Freyrun, the only one that looks as sour as he's feeling. So he's just gonna kind of hang out with her and be like, "They won't let me drink any more ale. I've got to drink water instead." But
She looks over at you. Are you a child?
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure who
almost
can
kind
tell
of,
you to drink
sort
or
of.
not.
I'm an
Elves
elf.
are weird.
So we age differently, but yeah, so not quite, but almost.
Is there a line forming of the chiefs kind of thing to talk to this lady?
This doesn't seem like it's happening now. Helka's not here.
Gotcha.
So it seems like she's like, we'll do
Yeah,
it
it's
later,
not an
guys."
open house right here, right now.
Yeah, seems like it's going to be a thing later. But you basically
Arrange for
tell
your
Agnet you're a
appointment
child,
slots.
and she's like, "All right then."
Then I would like to go up to the Jarl and kind of like in a hushed tone, kind of like lean in. So I gave you a gift. Was hoping maybe I could speak to her. One question, all I need.
She looks you over. Now Prince Gorboyorn, makeupless.
Mhm.
She looks to you. You have given me a gift. And Ave also spoke very highly of you, Gorbjorn.
What do you say?
What did you say? You say I'm cool?
Don't say. What do you say, Bubby?
You say I fuck because I fuck.
I didn't hear what was said. Maybe it's for the best. Maybe it's for the best. She looks to you. You can have one question. Yes.
I'll wink at her and then bow
She just
and
looks
walk away.
again. Somebody's gonna have to tell me after the break what happened, because I'm old and my ears are broken. Anybody else? Anybody else?
I do think that at some point during the proceedings, Nanna is going to go over towards Saga and definitely kind of like check in with her, make sure she's okay after that near miss with deception.
So Fen has been sitting on the other side of Agnet, but what you could not see is that Saga is also sitting on the other side of Agnet.
Oh, I
So
see.
you can only see like one of them at a time, depending on the angle. So they don't know the other one's there. They're just but you can make your way over to Saga and check
Oh
on her.
no. And I'm definitely talking to Agnet too, so she's just getting, oh,
Uh-huh.
but Lady Satyr and
Yeah. She's just saying, yeah, just
and it's
anyone
answering both of us.
talks to her now. And both of you are like, finally, somebody to talk to.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. And then kind of like Nanna sort of leans in and kind of like taps Saga on the shoulder gently and sort of murmurs, "Are you all right? That was a little intense."
Oh, yeah. I was a little worried for a second. I didn't really want to talk. I mean, if they were going to make me, I probably just would have done like,
She just minor illusions, like a little guy walking.
probably just would have done a little show. And I don't know if that would have gone well. So,
Well,
a very visual murder description.
Yeah.
I would say maybe workshop it in private before showcasing it in front of the Jarl and all of the chiefs.
Well, I didn't know that was gonna be a possibility.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot going on tonight, and I confess I'm a bit out of my element myself, but you are all right.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like I should ask you that after that kiss.
Oh, I am. Well, we had the best of intentions.
Yeah.
We practiced.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yes, I
Oh,
know.
It's like, oh no.
I know. I know.
Right.
Oh,
I
I
couldn't
only
tell.
want
Does that
another
make it
ale.
better or worse?
well, probably worse, but I mean, like,
Okay.
he didn't seem mad about it, at least.
No, it
We'll see if he calls it off later.
okay. I hope not, because like I want to do all that stuff. Like I want like the dress. Oh, but yeah, for your own feelings too. That would really be sad.
Yeah. Well, it's a strange sort of arrangement. I tell you what, sometime in the next while, tonight, maybe tomorrow, I'll tell you all about it. Come by my house, all right? We'll talk about it in detail.
Okay. Yeah, I've been staying there actually, so I'll come by.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, so we'll have a sleepover.
You might
I
not
will
have known. I
give
was
you
like
all
sleeping
the
in the
hot
closet.
goss.
You might have forgotten I was in there.
It was me there.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I was wondering why the spears kept being misplaced.
Oh yeah.
I was in the spear shed. Wait, what?
No, you were in the extra spear closet.
So many.
Anybody else something to do?
We just talk about spear closets for the rest of the evening.
Can I have a spear closet at the wedding? Is that a thing? Is that chill?
Tordrick, will, as the party's rolling, he will make his way towards the leadership that was asking questions about the death of Ave, and take a moment to get serious and not so much all about the fun, and ask for forgiveness because he was not able to bring Ave back when Ave was struck down. And he will never forgive himself for not being able to do that. That's what he's supposed to be able to do. And he will state that, in his opinion, although it's just the opinion of a dwarf like me, that Ave saved everyone else's life, and he sent us on our way to save others' lives because of the terrible evils that have plagued the lands all around. And he gets down on a knee and waits to hear whether or not they forgive him.
I'll say if you're probably able to catch Vandeel and the Jarl near each other, because they do spend a good fair amount of time talking to each other. And you go over to them and you say this. The Jarl, you can see trying to sober up as quickly as she can mentally to be like, at least be able to speak well. And she looks at you, and they both have kind of like solemn looks on their face. Sometimes all we have is our intention. And sometimes the action does not follow through, whether we are incapable or we are too slow or we are too late. But I believe your intention is true, and I appreciate that. And I know others do as well. You did not kill him, and you should feel no guilt. Vandeel, large man, he comes over and he extends like a hand out to you.
Tordrick
Do you take his hand?
Yes.
Yeah. He takes your hand, pulls you up back to your feet, and he pulls you in to like this just big hug.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is so great. Just big, tall human dude hugging on a dwarf. I'm here for this.
He squeezes and then kind of like lets you go before anything starts to break. I appreciate dedication, and I can see it in you. And loyalty is the most important thing.
I will agree. And he puts his larger drinking horn up and a toast to Ave.
Oh, they're quick to raise drinks.
Thanks.
To Ave. And they drink. And Vandil sort of leans over to the Jarl. Speaking of loyalty, can we talk? And she nods. Thank you again. And gives you a nod, Tordrick, before walking back over to the chair to speak to Vandil. During this time, because I can only assume at least one of you always has an eye on Freyroon. I think it's hard not to. Just the woman once again radiates tits out energy and cannot be unseen. The party simultaneously dies and ramps up, where it's like Vandil's wife and children leave. Some older people leave, some younger people start to leave. Yes, Saga?
I say goodbye when they leave. I was chilling with them.
They wave to you. As they walk by you, they're like, bye, bye. And you hear one of the little girls just like, I don't want to wear a shirt anymore either. And the mom's like, you're going to wear a shirt, and starts like,
Oh man, I got
Saga,
that same talk when I was in kindergarten and it was bullshit then too.
Saga, you can see that one is just enamored with Freyroon. Just the whole deal. She's like, I could be so cool.
Uh-oh.
But
Uh-oh.
I can picture how cool it is to make cool clothes.
As the mother pulls her away.
I mean, she needs cool skirts, not cool shirts.
But basically, some of the younger people leave, children. Some of the older people leave. Anybody who is now too drunk just leaves emotionally, but body is still there with us. And the party dies and then ramps back up in a different way, where people are just going balls to the wall. We're going to drink and we're going to party, and maybe somebody's going to punch somebody and we're going to have a good time, is what the goal is. Woo! During this transition, people who also leave include Freyroon and Nadia and Autumnus. Roshan and Saga, and yeah, I think just Roshan and Saga. Roll perception.
$18.
24.
Ooh.
It's a good thing yours is higher, Saga, because your DC was technically higher for this than Roshan's was.
That's good.
Roshan, you can see that the pin is back on Autumnus's cloak. And Saga, that is the moment where you can fully figure out the whole story, because you're like, that's the area that I saw that he took the thing from. And now that wasn't there, but it's here now. So you're able to stitch the story together for yourself in that moment and know that the item has been returned, or there's another item that was placed there.
At some point, I'll give eyes to that and eyes to Roshan and do like a thanks nod.
Thank you very much. No robbery in front of me today. But Freyroon steps out, and we are going to take our 10-minute break, and maybe all of you will step out as well to follow. Thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break. You guys get a drink some water, get yourself a snack, live your best life. We'll be back in 10 minutes and we'll continue the story.
Thank you, 10.
10 minutes. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Call for episode 49 of On the Backs of Gods. We just took ourselves our 10-minute break. The party was at a party. People spoke about the chiefs who had passed. There was a proposal. Some people are happy about it. Some people are a little upset. Some people are indifferent. Some people are a little cautious about it, a little confused. But the party ramps up. Tordrick is almost murdered by the anger that radiates off of Freyroon for even just slightly insisting that she have a good time.
Freyroon will punish good times with death.
Gotta do what you gotta do. There will be no good times had here today. And the Jarl also informed the chiefs that they could get a question from Helka, who is the seer, who has the ability to speak to the dead, to the gods, and is a connection between those worlds. So the idea of getting to ask her a question is very important and very special. Either the chief can go or somebody in the chief's stead, if the chief chooses, somebody else can go and ask this question, which seems like it'll be something happening later, like it might be a whole thing. The party ramps up and it ramps down, which is it probably is no longer like a family friendly party and just escalates into nightlife. During this time, people leave, including Freyrin and Nadia, and Autumnus, who a couple of you noted has his pin back, which Eagle borrowed. And this is the time that we are picking back up as Freyrin has left. What would you guys like to do?
Roshan would like to gather the party and quickly so that hopefully we can be back in time to drink afterward.
Probably for the best, because I don't know about all the rest of you, but I certainly need many ales.
Okay, so you all are heading over to the tent now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's opposed to it.
Someone's like,
Yeah.
no. I refuse. Yes, Saga?
Jillian, well, by now, has Saga had time to short rest since the run? Okay.
Sure. I'm sure there's been some time for that. Yeah.
Okay,
You're
I'd
like,
to roll.
please, dear God, let me short rest.
I'm still not full hit points, and I'd like to be.
Yeah, you can have some. You can take a nice little rest. Whether you got it before you went out to the party or during, you're like, I'm just gonna sit here and think for an hour.
I mean, she wasn't drinking, so
Yeah. Well, like partying and running around, it's hard to get a short rest. But there was time before the event, so you're
Yeah.
good.
Okay, thank you. That is all.
All of you make your way towards Freyroon and Nadia's tent, and you can see that there is that dweeby guy standing outside in front of it, the one who had went and approached you, Roshan.
So I would like to stop a decent distance away and tell the party she's only allowing 4 of us at a time. I think the most sober are Nanna, Saga, and myself, but also Tordrick, I would like you to come with us. We all...
He's like, I don't know if you saw what happened.
Not sure if you are accounting for everything there.
I think we all saw what happened earlier, and I don't think anyone here is ashamed of you, and if she wants to talk, she can do so on our terms. And hers a little bit, I suppose.
Well, yes. It'll be in her tent, but we choose the party. I do think it might be a good idea for everyone else to be close by.
Yes.
Right.
Just outside the tent, preferably.
Should I run home and get my bow?
I would not recommend it. We're hoping for this to be a peaceful interaction, are we not, Roshan?
She's got audacity, but I don't think she's callous enough to start a war whilst in Galunder. I don't think we're under any danger tonight.
Tordrick puts his hand under his robe and grabs down somewhere between his legs and pulls out a light crossbow and goes, "You want to use this?"
It says hold out.
Everyone takes psychic damage.
How money?
I don't mean to quarrel, but where are the quarrels?
Okay.
Oh no!
He
Never
starts
ask a
packing
man
up.
about a man's quarrels.
He pulls out 4 bolts from random locations.
Wow.
Oh, good. At least they work with the watch.
All right, Roshan, can you prestidigitate this, please, before I take it?
He'll do so, but it probably doesn't look any different.
Yeah. You just
That's
gotta
fine.
believe me.
Yeah, it is purified now. You're welcome.
All right, Fen will take the crossbow and the bolts and reluctantly.
Oh, he's okay. So Tordrick, he like has an epiphany. Oh, I get it. And he pulls over his robe, and you can see he has his armor on still. There was
All
no
right.
contact between those two.
Oh, like
Taking
for half a second, he's like, "Phew," we're like, ah, and then he's like,
Just
armor.
moments
We're
where
like,
everybody's like, oh.
Right.
we weren't expecting it this time. We weren't expecting it any time, really.
It's not my type of bow, but I think I could make it work if things go badly, and I hope they don't. So, please let us know on the other side what you come up with.
Certainly. Well, all of us perhaps need a little time to discuss what goes on, but we'll figure that out when we're done.
Torbjorn and Fen sit and they watch the moon. And they remember the good times.
Ah, the good times. In the vines.
No,
Do-
no.
Do you remember the good times where we did not choose this, but it happened to us? Yeah.
Gorbjorn goes down the list. "Shh, this one said yes. This one said yes. This one said yes. I remember those.
The four
Ends on the list.
the 4 of you approach the entrance of the tent. Anything before you go?
Nanna,
Yes, Saga.
is it okay if I have my staff?
She probably has been like bringing it everywhere, but has come to like decorate it because it's
Aw.
more of an outfit piece now than since she doesn't ever use it. It's just like,
It probably
Fancy.
looks like a very fancy walking stick, I would guess.
yeah, at this point, yes.
Yeah. That's all right. That's all right. They might have someone who might be able to perceive the magic on it, but honestly, even if they do, it's fog, right?
Well, actually, I only realized just recently that it does more than that. There was
It what?
I know. I was really surprised. I went to Eagle, and Eagle has a friend who knows things about magic, and the person said that it does things. Yeah.
Ha! You know that. We'll talk about that later. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Yeah, I think that will be fine. Saga, yes. Just maybe use it as you would a walking stick.
That's how I usually do.
Just get old.
You'll never know. You all approach, and standing in front is this very, very, like, there's nothing intimidating about this gentleman. Nothing. Not the damnedest thing.
Have I
Uh,
ever seen him before? I would assume not.
No, you've seen him recently because he's been here,
Mhm.
but came with Freyroon and not yet.
And he wasn't known to be attached to like Herserson's entourage or anything.
I mean, you don't know too much about Herserson's entourage.
That's fair.
He could have been there the whole time. But you all approach and he stands there and he like looks to you. Okay, so there's a few rules. If you will not follow them, you will be asked to leave. He kind of like motions to the size of the tent. So the wall along where the door is, you may take one step inside, but you all must line up against the wall. And if you take a step forward, you will be asked to leave.
Oh, right. Interesting, but certainly we are respectful of others' customs in Galunda always.
So that is why we asked for 4. We believed 4 would fit comfortably against the wall and nobody would be inclined to step forward.
What happens if I like trip and fall? Should I try to fall backwards?
Try not to fall. Maybe fall to the side.
Okay, yeah.
So then
Okay.
you're still on the same plane. So you're
That's-
welcome to bring more companions, but understand if anyone takes a step forward, you will be all asked to leave.
All right. We accept your terms.
There
Nanna
will-
like kind of trades a brief little glance with Roshan, but
there will be no reaching for weapons. There will be no casting of spells. Does not matter if they do damage or not. There will be none of that inside of the tent. I advise you to mind your manners.
From the outside of the tent, is Scrawny Guy the only person out there?
There's people about, but he's the only one who's like positioned there.
There's nobody like standing guard outside.
Roll perception.
I get to make a roll.
Can I help him?
That's a nat 20. So that's a 25 overall.
There's
Hey,
some people watching the
hey.
tent,
Okay.
but they are not standing like in a position of a guard, but there are people watching the tent.
I could get there faster than they could.
Depends where you're standing. Are you standing just right outside?
No, kind of like trying not to be observed. So not
you're
immediately.
stealthing.
What's that?
Are you stealthing?
I'm with Gorbjorn, so I don't think it's worth the effort.
Organ's like, I'm very stealthy. I don't
Like we're looking casual outside.
Let me toss you around.
Come on, Fen, roll with me.
No, I need to
Oh.
practice the wrestling thing. That
I have to
saw Anna doing.
practice.
I think Fen and Gorbjorn would be like at a moderate distance, like trying to look casual, but
Just waiting for your
Observing
friends.
nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other tents set up around here. These guys, there's probably a few of them that are a little closer than you. But if you just started running, you might beat them there.
okay. I mean, we're the speediest. We've already established this.
Mhm.
What if
Nobody
we're,
in
like,
town is
running
faster
back
than
and
us.
forth, trying to figure out who's the fastest of us too.
Yeah, you're like, race me again. Prove
Oh
it.
God.
I'll race you to the front of the tent and back.
Okay.
Back and forth.
Oh, intimidating. Just 2 guys.
Every time they run for it, Gleeby guy just goes,
Yeah.
We're just racing you.
All right.
Also-
Fen, having drunk some water recently, is just keeping an eye on making sure that like nobody's gonna like follow our friends into the tent so that they're outnumbered.
Yeah.
Even though we have no concept of how many people are inside. But
go inside. 56 people are in there. They all just start
That tent
throwing
is
hands.
bigger on the inside.
He's like, and also last thing, just to give you this fair warning, if any of the rules are broken, we will call for the guard.
Very well. That is well within your right. Absolutely.
Glad we understand. He steps to the side and he pulls the tent open. along the back wall, and he sort of motions again with his hand what he wants you to do.
Okay. I guess we will enter unless Roshan needs
No,
to
I think
coordinate
we're
anything
ready.
first. All
All
right.
right. You all walk inside and you all line up against the back wall of the tent, staying as close as you can to it. Very
Squishing her
specific
staff.
rules.
She's
Um,
just like, hey.
on the far side from you is where Freyroon is sat. No, even in private, does not put a shirt on, because why would she? That's dumb then.
That makes sense.
I'm
Why would I
surprised she's
put the
wearing
shirt
pants.
on now?
Yeah.
She's
I
sitting
mean,
there.
who wears pants anymore?
She just now has nothing on, just body out energy. She's sitting in this chair, back very straight, which it has been for most of the event. Just very the posture, though, and Nadia is there, speaking like softly to her and like braiding her hair. Yes, Saga?
Sorry. Before we go, can I do a thing before we go in?
Tell me what it is and I'll think about it.
Okay. Well, they said no spells inside, so if we're outside, could I cast Emboldening Bond on the
The gaggle?
Roshan?
And yeah, it's 3 people though, so it's just
Okay.
one person's left out. Probably leave myself out, I think.
Okay, so you embond
Yeah.
your friends to each other.
Yes.
I'll let you do that.
Thank you. See, Lady
You
Satyrs
will.
with you guys during this.
Thank you, Saga.
Right?
Yeah.
You all step inside, line up.
Torchwick will make the mistake of walking into a place and wanting to bless the place with his beer horn and stop when he sees who he's about to sling some beer around and stops
like,
it.
Did he not realize we were just going to be?
He got excited.
And he gets into the lineup ball.
Quickly
Yeah.
goes back to the lineup. Nadia finishes the small braid she is working on and then stops and sort of sinks back more into her seat and looks over at you. And Freyroon, after a moment, like acknowledges you, like does not acknowledge you for multiple seconds, even though it is very obvious you are there and there's no way she could not have seen you. Made the choice to ignore you for a moment, until the braid was finished. And she looks over at you, glances over each of you, and her eyes narrow at Tordrecht. Yep.
He smiles.
She does not return any formality. No fake smile, no anything. It is just the look of distaste. She looks over all of you. As my man outside said, if you take a step forward, I will instantly call for the guard. Is that understood?
Absolutely.
Good. I don't ask you to stand across the back wall because I fear you, because I am worried you will rush at me if you are too close. The idea of breathing the same air as you physically nauseates me. And I would like to stay as separate as we could during this personal and private conversation.
Whatever you need to feel comfortable.
You can see Nadia smirks while Freyroon is talking. I've asked you here because I think it's best to speak plainly. And I will give you time for your questions if you have any, and if I am tired of them, I will ask you to leave. But there's really nothing to ask of me. But to speak candidly, and you watch just like the corners of her mouth twist up, I despise you. Each and every one of you, the 6 of you, despise. It's visceral, you see. I want you all dead. And I have no qualm saying it. I want you dead. And I asked that abomination to kill you, and it seems you are still here, and it is infuriating. It seemed to work out in your favor, aren't you lucky? But I have no issue with you knowing. That does not bother me. You tell someone, they will not believe you. They may believe that I said I hate you, but no more than that. And now would be a terrible time, I think, to tell anyone anything. But as I said, being open and honest, I tried to have you killed, yes. The recent attack on your life was not me. I'm not an idiot. I want this peace treaty signed. I'm not here for war. Killing you now would result in war. After the treaty is signed and you wander off and you happen to die, that will do nothing to weaken the West or our bond. I am just informing you. No one on my silver has attempted anything on your lives while the Jarl has been in town. And it will stay that way.
Can we determine exactly how truthful she's being with us here?
You are welcome to roll insight.
I would appreciate if other people would back me up on that.
Yeah, I was just waiting for the
Yeah, people are
whatever
welcome
this
to roll insight.
It's not a bad one.
No.
What do we got? Just so I know.
I've got 14.
15.
13. Roshan, give me a 16 or a 12, please.
You too.
Uh,
Mhm.
I don't think Ro cares to
Ro's like,
challenge
I
that.
believe it.
Yeah.
D4s to people.
You
who
get a
want
D4
to,
to y'all's rolls.
by the way.
Oh,
People who
thank you.
roll.
I had forgotten. I guess that was. Oh, okay. That makes mine a 16.
Okay.
My insight isn't if she's lying about it. It's more like
Mhm.
how much of it is like, I don't know, if I can like start sussing out like a reasoning behind it as she's talking, like if she
Mhm.
like lingers on somebody more, or if there's like some kind of, I'm gonna listen throughout, like is there emphasis on something? Like I want to
Okay.
spend the time figuring out why,
Okay.
unless she is gonna tell us next sentence, then I'll
And then I tell you.
Hmm.
She looks over all of you. So I will say truthfully that no matter how much I wish to see all of you dead and no longer existing, which is, gosh, almost brings a tear to the eye to imagine. Just a breath of fresh air for a moment. Whatever happened at that race was not my doing. And I wanted to have this meeting because I don't want it speculated by any of you that it was me. And I don't want you speaking my name around anyone, especially when I haven't done it. I don't think you'll talk about the earlier incident either, unless you would like to see this peace treaty burn, which I'll tell you, I'd love to sign it. No need for war. Now isn't the time for war. So I don't know who you may have pissed off, but she just like motions to you. But I'm sure it's easy enough for other people to hate you as much as I do.
What did I do?
Yeah, I mean, like, we have had few dealings in your business.
Is it? Gosh. I know it may be difficult to understand as some of your mouths are agape and just taking in and out more air. I just hate you. I hate every single thing about you since the moment I saw you. And I just can't get over it. I tried, believe me, but I can't. I want you dead, but not right now.
When
When
was
did
it that
we-
you first set eyes on us?
Yeah, that question.
Seconded.
Yeah.
Roshan, roll persuasion. I'll give you advantage because you were seconded.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask it as well.
25.
Hey!
And the D4 and a D4.
And the
Wow.
D4. I mean, I guess just in case.
Come on. you gotta-
29.
Yeah.
Well, it was truly shocking to see you all just come up to my door, just presenting yourselves so casually. Some of you in the back sitting on a bench, but just all of you gathered together, bringing me my special wedding gift, which you'll have to thank your friend for bringing me. His lineage is appreciated. Everything else, once again, despised terribly. Anything else?
Wait a second. I'm confused. So, you're mad because we brought you your wedding gift? Were we supposed to leave that somewhere?
Oh no, I thanked you for that. That was very nice. Thank you.
Oh, that was good. It was just because we were there?
Well, it wasn't meant to be you, but behold, you were there at my door. I asked for a full-blooded elf because I didn't want anyone else touching such a masterpiece made by the elves. And the fact that somebody at that mail office probably touched it makes my blood boil.
Oh, I know I was there. I don't think anyone did.
Encouraging. Thank you.
I suppose it's just surprising that you're not angry that we did touch it.
Did more than your elf friend touch it?
No, but he's a member of our group, and you seem to despise us beyond casual reasoning.
Would I have preferred any other elf in existence to have brought that to me? Of course. But the fire ignited in me seeing all of you. Once again, I tried to quell it. But the need for all of you to stop breathing is near euphoric.
It makes sense. Lady Satyr said somebody would be like this.
Well, she was very right then.
Yeah, she always is.
Have you ever tried dwarven whiskey? Dwarven whiskey can really just put your focus in a different place. And I know I've had some shit go on at a young age, and dwarven whiskey got me through it. And we ain't going nowhere.
I would rather be drawn and quartered than touch anything made by dwarves.
Ah, that's what I wanted to hear. Yeah, that's it. Oh, I just want to jump forward. He
Oh no.
laughs.
hopping from foot to foot.
Yeah, oh boy, he's twinkle toeing it.
Todrick.
Is there anything that we could do to make you not hate us a whole bunch or something like that?
You could throw yourselves in the river and do it for me.
I was gonna say except for that.
We do that a
Yeah.
lot. Well, some of us do.
Now, once again, let me reiterate. I want this peace treaty signed. But the second you step out of town, I expect your blood to be plastered upon it. That is my greatest wish. And I'm patient. But I will just do a, this isn't a threat, this add-on, because I want you dead, so there's no need for threats. It is what I want. If I hear word that you are speaking of me, I provide information to the Jarl about what you were all doing very sneaky up in the valley, and provide evidence. So I think we can coexist for just a moment.
What was your wedding gift?
It wasn't exactly a gift, I suppose. I purchased it. It was our wedding rings.
Can I see?
If you do not step forward and breathe my air, yes.
She kind of like leans forward, and, like holds her breath, and
she extends a hand forward, and it is beautiful. It is a white stone, a bit cloudy and foggy, very smooth and round, covered in enwrapped in silver, and very elven in appearance in the designs, very slender and delicate.
Okay. When I look at that, I'm not very good at this because I didn't figure out my staff did more stuff until just recently. I want to see if it has magic on it, but I'm just like looking. I'm just eyeballing it to see if it's got a sparkle.
Okay, so roll me Arcana from this 10 feet away to see if
I know. Trust me.
This is not good. No, I understand.
I understand. This is big ask.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
I would also like to see if I can get some insight into, is she being truthful in that she's just angry at us? Like she just doesn't like us, or is she evading some kind of truth?
Yeah, it sounds like she just suddenly caught a hate virus out of nowhere.
Just like a little pinch. Ooh, I hate them. Sure, go ahead and roll insight, Roshan.
How does like I rolled decently, but then I really want to know. So if I used my thing, like my necklace on this, how would that work as far as like, does it just mean like I know if it's magic or not? Or is like
it would be basically you using your necklace is like getting a nat 20.
Hey.
And then I present you a nat 1 later.
Yeah.
For a similar thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Nah, not for this one. This is just a 16. Just a 16. It's pretty good.
Picking your battles, Saga. You're getting there.
From this distance, you cannot tell, but she coveted it, and it could be magically inclined. It wouldn't shock you, but you have no proof either way.
Well, it's very
and what did you get, Roshan?
I got a 23.
And the D4?
Yeah, with the D4.
Very good. It's my job to ask.
Of course.
The thing of it is, it's because she just hates you. Is it the full story, You think there's probably a extra step, but you truly believe it is because she just manifested hatred for you. And she sort of snatches her own hand back like you were touching her, but you weren't. I've said my piece. Are we on the same page?
We very much appreciate your hospitality, and we hope the rest of your stay in town fills your lungs with fresh air.
It won't. Not yet.
Perhaps you should study the statue. It gives people a sense of calm despite its terrifying visage.
Cannot relate.
You could go to the Lady Satyr Temple as well. There's like a mural in town, and then there's also the temple outside of town, depending on how you feel. If you want to get away further.
She is now just staring quietly ahead.
We shall not impose upon any more of your time. Thank you for your audience. We appreciate your patience.
There's no reply.
Nanna will turn to leave.
Roshan will make sure he's the last one out and just give her a nice, big, beaming, sincere smile.
Tordrick will stop before he exits and turn and look her straight in the eyes and say, I forgive you for your hatred. And he turns and walks out.
Is Nadia in there?
Yeah, Nadia's here. She
Okay, I
hasn't said
wave.
anything though. You wave at Nadia?
Yeah.
Nadia does not wave back.
Does she also look as full of hatred as Faerun?
I'm gonna go off your insights that you guys have already given me, and the fact that they aren't hiding anything really anymore.
Okay.
She through most of that was enamored with Faerun, watching her do this, and found great joy in that.
Okay.
All of you
Alrighty.
walk out. Just running back and forth outside. The guy's just like,
Are you two all right?
Oh.
the guy's like, you can leave now, thank you, and closes the tent behind you.
We've much to discuss.
That was exciting. I've never had somebody hate me so much. I don't.
It's honestly disconcerting to hear anyone at all say anything within the realm of hatred about Two Saga. It's inconceivable to me.
Are you all going to keep talking next to me, or are you going to leave?
Depends
What
on
would
how
you
long we
prefer?
want to keep you uncomfortable, but
I'm always uncomfortable.
that does
Oh.
seem to
Stares
be your
ahead.
MO.
We never caught your name.
And because I did not offer it.
Well, my name is Roshan, and welcome to our town. I hope you don't have the same misgivings about breathing the same air as we do. It is really a charming locale, and we hope your stay is wonderful.
Of course. All of you have a nice evening now.
Farewell.
You
I'll
too.
give him a wink just to make him uncomfortable.
They keep running at me and they wink at me and they talk to me really close. I don't like it. And you guys going somewhere?
Well, we can either go to the inn where there's lots of ale and lots of people, or we can secret away some liquor to maybe like Nana's tiny house and have like somewhere to
After party.
talk.
After party.
Is the talk with I forgot the seer's name.
Helka?
Helka happening tonight or no?
No, it's not happening tonight.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm down to go back to the inn. That's where I'm sleeping.
That's my house.
Well, then perhaps we can.
Oh, Tordrick, as the group's starting to move, he kind of shakes his head. Ugh. For a moment, I started to feel this hatred. It's not where I want to be. I need to go pray. I need to be near the water.
You should take someone with you if you're going to go anywhere, Tordrick, please. Especially after what we just got through hearing. Please.
Go with him.
Yeah.
I'll go with him.
I've got to go to the water.
Okay.
Oh, wait, are you going outside of town?
I'm going to go to where our temple is.
Oh, is that all right? I don't know. I was told I shouldn't go outside of town. I want to come with you, though.
I don't care right now. I need to pray and be in a place.
Okay.
Okay, let me throw some details in there just for you, Tordrick. Saga's temple that she made out of town, first off, will take you a couple hours to get there. It's much further away than the stream and isn't next to a stream.
Right. Yes, what I was talking about. Remember where Tordrick went and was digging Eagle's friends?
I'm just making sure that's where you're going because
That's
that's
where you're
not
going,
exactly like the temple. So I'm just double checking.
Oh
That's where you're going.
yeah. He wants to build a secondary shrine right next to the water.
Mhm.
And if you, I'm just going to just reiterate the situation.
Right.
It is currently the middle of the night.
Right.
I just want it said. That's all.
Right.
You are welcome to do as you wish. I just want you to have all the details.
Right. Well, he's going to look for Eagle's friends. They have went with him before.
Tordrick, I'll accompany you. Just let me get my bow. And not this one that smells rather queer. Hey, you can actually have this one back. Actually don't want to hold it anymore. I appreciate the loan. Here you go. Here's your crossbow. Let me run back to the Hartsville Inn, grab my bow, and I'll come with you.
I'll look for Eagle's friends. We'll meet back here.
Oh, all right. All right. I'll meet you back here.
Okay, two people leave your party. What are the rest of you doing?
Nanna, I really gotta say that's probably not a very good idea. I mean, you told me not to go out, so I don't know.
Oh, I know. Tordrick needs this. I'm going to go and grab a spear from my place. I'll go along with Fen, and we'll go along together with Tordrick. Greater numbers, greater safety. I don't think we should be moving in groups less than 3, really, at this point.
So we're all going outside of town?
I mean, I suppose it's safer if it's the lot of us than it is the one of us. I'm not enamored of it, but if I'm being frank, I would not care to face up against Tordrick when he needs to speak with the sisters. He seems a bit...
Well, I'm not going to say that I'm not offended that when I was wanting to go out to my temple, everyone said no, and now Tordrick wants to go out, and now we're just all going. But
I understand,
just-
Saga. I'm not thrilled. I prefer everybody stay close to town. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Things
All
are
right.
moving much too quickly for me at the present moment.
Saga, would you like to instead go to Island Life with me?
Yeah, sure. I do feel a little scared about letting everybody go out on their own, but I think it's better that we stay back.
I don't think my nerves could handle a bunny right now, so
I'll stay with you then. Think that's better.
We'll come and find the lot of you at Island Life. And I suppose we'll find Gorbjorn at the inn.
Can you guys
Once we've
do any
finished.
message stuff? Like Roshan can do messages?
Mm.
Can you?
I don't think anyone else has that capability.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Okay, well, good luck.
Roshan, if it seems like it's been too long, send me a message, all right?
Will do. About how long does it take for them to get to the
The spring
makeshift
shrine.
temple?
It is probably going to take them close to an hour. It's at the edge of town.
There
Okay.
are competitions tomorrow, are there not?
There are.
I intend to win all of those, so we'll be back.
Well, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but
Oh, Saga, I appreciate your concern. You're adorable. You're our precious little cinnamon roll.
oh goodness, you guys.
think you can beat me.
Yeah, we'll see tomorrow, won't we?
I will message you in 2 hours just for an update.
I hope that will be enough time. I'll do what I can to bring the other two back safe.
Maybe like message them in an hour so you know they got there, and then once they are like got there, and then you can message them.
Gorbjorn, what are you doing?
I want to make the Jarl jealous because she turned me down. So
Of fucking course. I honestly
Yes, I can
support
get
Gorbjorn
behind.
in
All
this.
right.
I support Gorbjorn in these shenanigans. I would appreciate his help in this quest, but I understand he's got to make the lady who turned him down jealous.
Oh, how are you going to do that? Are you going to go to the party or the inn? What are you up to?
I'm gonna go to the inn and party it up. I do want to like. Agnes doesn't seem like the one to be dancing, and like she would just be like, "No, I want to sit in a corner and like fight people," kind of thing. So
My fighting
like-
corner.
I do want to talk to her eventually, but I don't know if it's gonna be tonight. So I'm just gonna be like dancing around with any like single ladies, see if I can take them back, kind of
Okay.
thing.
6 single women leave with
Women.
Gorbjorn.
Sorry.
They leave. They go leave with him.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Tordrick, Nanna, and Fen, you are making your way to the stream after you gather your supplies, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Supplies include as much ale. He's going to try to grab as much ale as he can to take
Sure.
with him.
Better include his armor and his weapons.
Yeah, his armor and weapons.
Oh
on.
no, he's been he was wearing that from way back when he was
Good.
doing the shots ambulance. But one of the things that he does do as everybody starts to break off is he does cast the spell of message to send a message to Saga that everything will be okay and that
No.
It's already happened, boys. Everything will be okay.
Everything will be-
Fine.
Everything will be okay.
Nothing is broken. Everything is
Frank,
fine.
it paused after you said everything would be okay, and I don't know if there was more or not.
And it cut out.
no, he just lets her know because he heard her talking about can we message each other? Can we send word if needed? And so he does have that ability. So he sends her a word that everything will be okay. This is something that can be done.
Yeah.
You probably get the reply back. She sounds very excited and a little bit better.
All right. You 3 go off to gather your things, get some drink, and then wander off into the night to the edge of town. Gorbjorn goes back to the inn to dance with some ladies who are interested in dancing. And
I do have a question.
yeah,
Is Tordrick able to find Eagle's friends?
Let's see. This is probably going to be a luck roll. I will roll on my end.
Then I'll use inspiration.
Ooh, sure, I'll roll twice.
Hell yeah.
Okay. You don't see the two you normally see, but you see like a guy you don't know, but he's sitting where they would have been sitting. And he is armed.
Tordrick will introduce himself. Do you work for Eagle?
He glances around. You're the guy who keeps going to the river. We going to the river? He kind of looks around.
I'm kind of hot. I need a walk. You want to walk? I got some friends coming too. We got some beer. Ale. Oops.
I mean, it's mainly on the fact that I'm not supposed to let you just casually walk by yourself. So sure. And he
I figured. He
pulls
laughs.
himself up. That's fine as long as I get a drink, I suppose. And
We will be his favorite babysitting job.
And you three and your new friend all leave together towards the stream. Roshan and Eagle. Eagle's not here yet. Roshan and Saga. You both make your way to Island Life.
Yeah, that's my cow.
Oh my God. Cat ass.
Cat ass on the screen.
Big and floofy.
It's both of you roll perception.
Okay. What? I'm gonna.
17.
Should I? No, 17's probably. I don't know how bad this is gonna be. I'm gonna freaking use it. No, I'm probably gonna need it for other things tonight. It's a natural one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're human. It dark.
Yeah. I'm just too worried about all the things.
You're not even like looking. You're kind of like looking at your feet like, oh man, I hope everything's okay. And Roshan, you see this first. Island Life is completely empty. And every night since the Jarl arrived, it has been jam-packed, but the place is empty. The upstairs fully empty. Would you like to go inside?
Yeah.
You go inside, and the first thing you see is muddy boot prints that go from the door to the downstairs.
Is the woman at the bar?
Nope.
Okay. Saga, did you want to come with and meet with Eagle, or did you want to wait here, or?
Oh, well, I'm happy to come. Is this one of those things that it's like a, is there like a couple thing, or am I okay to come with you? I don't know.
He really likes you, so you're welcome downstairs, I'm sure.
Oh, that's a little refreshing after what just happened. I think I might come by.
Oh, don't hurt Saga's feelings.
I'll do it again.
It's not a lie.
Isn't it?
You guys just walking downstairs?
Yeah.
You basically, Saga, even if you're just looking at your feet, you can now see that there are these very obvious, like, muddy boot prints that go down the steps, and they go all the way to the door to Eagle's office.
Oh goodness, they should really clean the place up.
Saga, would you like to take a dip in the hot pool, or I can get you a sweet tea.
GT.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to make you work when you're not working. I can just. Oh, could I do it myself? Am I allowed back there?
Yeah. I think he'll be okay with that.
Okay. I want to make my own. I want to try my own recipe this time.
So if you
this
wanted
is
to do that, Saga, it'd be
delightful.
like you'd run back upstairs to like the stove.
Oh, it's up. Okay. Well,
Um,
sure. I'll be back when I'm finished, all right? Do you want
Okay.
something too? I'll make you a mystery drink. I'll make one for Eagle too. I'll make you all mystery drinks.
oh
You're
my
gonna love it.
god!
Wonderful. I bet he will be ecstatic.
Yeah.
Saga runs upstairs. What do you do, Rashawn?
Roshan would go over to the door and knock.
Come on in.
Roshan will open it up and survey the room.
You can see that in the room is Egil sort of sitting propped up on the edge of his desk, so not in the chair, on the opposite side. Looking for the first time you have seen him disheveled. You can see he is, his clothes are a bit crumpled, his shoes are dirty. You can see that next to him on the desk is a wash rag that has blood and dirt on it, and he is currently unbraiding his hair. Hey there, how was the party?
It sucked. Are you okay?
I've been better, but I'm fine.
Can I insight that?
Sure.
You probably still have a D4, honestly.
Well, I got a nat 20.
Oh.
Oh!
Oh, he knows.
What does that add up to?
25.
One moment, I gotta do math.
Uh-oh.
Double checking.
What's the D4?
If the D4 is still, I think you have to be within like
Yeah.
30 feet of someone with
With
Oh,
the
and
bond.
They ran
Yeah.
away, so never mind.
They did run away.
What did yours add up to?
25.
You have no proof of it, no evidence. He sounds like he is being honest, but like, how could he be? It is not based on your insight of him in this moment that you think you're not getting like the whole shebang. It is just more towards intuition because his face reads very tired, but pretty casual. Like he just looks disheveled and tired. Sorry your party was shit.
Well, the day started off so good.
Yeah, it wasn't until the afternoon when it started tanking a bit, I suppose.
I got a really thoughtful gift and I won the flighting competition. And then I had to watch Saga almost die over and over again. And then the person who did it fucking stabbed you. And Roshan like makes a hand motion to where he fell on the floor, but isn't able to say anything about it. And then tonight I had to lie about what happened to Ave, and Freyrun invited us over just to say, fuck you. She hates us. And she says that those weren't her men who attacked Saga on the edge of town, and it was a day a lot like today that I decided to knock myself out with tea instead of dealing with it.
How about you come over here?
Roshan hesitates for a few moments and then crosses the small room.
The second you're within arm's reach, he just pulls you into him. And he stays sort of leaning against the desk and just holds you there. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a pretty shitty day. I can't fault you for that, and I can't fault you for looking for simple things in difficult times. But it ain't the simple fixes that are gonna get us through this shit. It's not gonna be the easy fixes. I'm sorry it's been a shit day.
Me too. So Faerun said that the men in the forest outside of town weren't from her.
Mm.
And when the man said the happy couple, I automatically assumed it was Faerun, but we are all in danger at this point. Who sent them?
I mean, first off, I'm glad for the clarification that Faerun does not have communication with the happy married couple. I have no qualm telling you who they are, because they're like me. But they operate more towards the east and have been doing it longer and have much more reach. They are, if Valrone and I were 50 and hadn't slipped up fucking once, didn't have a code of conduct, had to reach the span of near the continent. That is who the happy married couple are. But they are not someone I personally would like to make an enemy with. I will be sending them a letter informing them that Galunder has entered my jurisdiction. I think they will respect that until they don't want to no more. I think they will act cordial and bit worried I'll get a dinner invite. It's a bit of a threat. I'm not shocked you don't fucking know who they are. Keep forgetting you guys aren't fucking criminals. These are shitty people and they do not make deals like I do. I will do what I can. And it's a good thing you're in the West, because their reach feathers off a bit.
Well, there's going to be a time in the near future when we have to go over there.
Had a feeling. Well, I would advise learning not to broadcast yourselves, I suppose. They'll probably wait till you're in the East, if they're still interested. So if Faerun did not hire them, I'm not sure who did.
Well, it's probably the people we thought hired who Faerun hired.
Mm. I wish I could give you better news, honestly. I do. I think they will. I had a strongly worded conversation. I think Galunder is safe, depending on how reckless you guys decide to be.
Well, speaking of reckless, Tordrick thought it was a good idea to leave town again. Did you take care of the men in the woods?
Yeah, I did what I had to do. And he goes back to, he keeps like an arm around you, but like reaches it around so he can continue to like unbraid one of his braids. Fucked up my hair. I hate when it has the little flyaways. Yeah, people usually fuck off when you bring somebody's head to them, you know? You present a friend's head to them and they usually fuck off. And I think we came to an understanding. But I'm not. I may be in a contract that says that I will not hurt anyone. I can't. I won't go out in the middle of the night and make sure they are okay 24/7 because I can't. If your dumbass had walked out there, I might have walked out. But
I can't blame you at this point. I may not understand why they feel the need to keep leaving town, but eventually we're all going to have to do it. And Freyroon said as much, that she would love to see us killed the minute we step outside of town. So,
well, if you're gonna leave town, don't get caught. Or kill her on the road. I don't know how far you guys are ready to go or not.
I don't think she's going to be not heavily armed enough for us to attempt such a thing. Her entourage was huge, and I think that would be seen as an outright attempt at war. So,
Well, of course, you have to be sneaky about it. I'm not recommending it. It just seems you guys are interested in doing the opposite of what one maybe should do. And listen, y'all have lived this long. Who the fuck am I to say shit? I think it is possible, after I talk to the happy married couple, that they may stand down. I'm going to ask very nicely. And you see him like he bites the inside of his cheek. And I'm going to owe them a favor. And that's high fucking currency. And I hope it's enough.
you don't have to put yourself in debt for our sake. We can take care of ourselves.
Roshan, I care so deeply for you. I don't know if y'all fucking can. Saga would have been dead today if I hadn't been there. It is not gonna get easier. And honestly, maybe being on the road is better. Is it more dangerous? Are there less people to protect you there? Yes, but there is something about moving. Keeping it sporadic.
Yeah.
But it's not getting easier.
Saga's making some drinks. Are
Yeah, I
you interested in trying something that I'm sure you've never tasted before?
I've been trying incredibly hard to ignore just the clomping of her feet all over my kitchen. I mean, I'm gonna drink it. Can't say no. That's not polite.
Hey. Oh, finish up.
Yeah,
It's gonna be knocking though.
The door wasn't fully closed, so
Okay.
You could probably
Speak of the cinnamon roll, and the cinnamon roll appears.
Just like opening it with like her back. I'm trying to. Okay, here.
You start making your way in.
Yeah.
Hello, Miss Saga.
Hi. I brought some drinks.
I see that. That is incredibly thoughtful of you. I
Okay.
am parched.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So, I decided that, since you talked once about like, it being too cold around here, I made yours spicy. So it's like a bitter spicy. And then Roshan, because you guys go together and everything, I made yours spicy too, also because you're like kind of spicy, but I made yours sweet and spicy because that's more like you. So that's yours. And then I just made mine sweet.
I love the reasoning, the story, like a food blog. Lovely. And he takes.
What's that?
Huh? He takes.
There's a
look
special
over.
kind of spell book you wouldn't understand.
I feel like
kind of yokel he turned into for you. How
feel
dare
like
you?
Saga-
The audacity.
might need to roll for how much alcohol she put into
You
it
know,
because she
when you're
doesn't
really-
know
Probably.
how that works.
How to roll for that'd probably be a wisdom roll
Okay.
to make assumptions about alcohol that you know nothing about.
Oh, actually, that's pretty good. I'm a little disappointed that it's good. It's like 19.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is made with an unknowing hand.
Mhm.
But it could be worse.
Mhm.
Besides the fact that it is bitter and spicy is what he's about to taste. And I just
Yes.
imagine he has like dried chilies like hanging on the wall in the kitchen. You're like, oh yeah, perfect. 10 out of 10.
Oh, they're red like him. Throw them in.
Color association. Boom.
Yes.
He smiles and he takes his drink. And he puts like an arm around like the back of your head, Roshan. We'll talk more later.
okay.
Now drink your delicious beverage and say thank you to Saga.
That's really good, Saga.
I need to know how good it is, and I need to know how well they hold it in.
She's been watching and she wants to know. She wants to
It is
insight.
oh yeah, definitely. Roll insight. Roshan. The
Is it
fact
like
that
Eowyn's
Roshan maybe
soup
has
bad?
never had something spicy in his life is a thought process. It is hot. It is very hot. So you can go ahead and roll insight. Deception, Roshan.
I don't think he needs to roll because I think you can get better than me just with your plus.
Yeah, but if he rolls in 1.
I rolled a 4, so 9.
I rolled a 4 as well, so 5. We're both like
Red
at
in
the
the
same
cheeks.
level today, but he's just naturally better at this.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, you're watching Roshan's face aggressively and his cheeks go red and you're like, oh, cute.
That
Like-
means he likes it. Yes.
He likes it and they're boyfriends and it's nice.
Yes.
You can't tell if Eagle gets flushed because he's always flush. This, you are
Racist.
correct. I have never tried this in my life. New experience. Thank you, Miss Saga. It is certainly bitter and spicy as you described it to me.
That's good. That's what I was going for. Perfect. Okay.
And he is going to finish his drink.
Wow.
Oh wow. Saga probably drinks hers, realizes it's actually too sweet, but she'll like,
I gotta pretend to me now.
yeah.
Roshan will grit his teeth and finish it all in one go if he can.
Oh wow.
Roll Constitution.
Begrudgingly drinking their awful drinks together.
This many.
Hell yeah.
Oh no.
You're like, I can do this. If I do it quickly, it won't be a problem. The spice hits you in the back of the throat. You oh, see, he likes it. And Eagle like pats you on the back. There you go. Come on. Just, as you
Down the right
with your
path.
eyes water, he's just patting you on the back. It's fine. Oh well, Miss Saga, you are welcome to stay here as long as you would like to. I would hate to see you leave in the night. I can acquire you an escort, but you are always welcome to stay.
Yeah, I'm mostly just staying here because it's a really good distraction from the fact that I think my friends might die tonight. So I'd rather just, hang out with the ones that are still alive.
Oddly enough, you're distracting me from the same thought.
Oh, good.
Look at
We
that.
can be happy together.
That'll be great. Now, how about y'all tell me about some nice stuff that happened at the party? Couldn't have been all bad. And as Eagle starts to go on and he continues to unbraid his hair, that
Roshan will take over.
Yeah, I got you, BB.
And then Saga will tell the story about how Tordrick spit on her, and then she was so mad. And
It's like you guys just want to die. I can't figure it out. Just the need to die. It's almost admirable. I'll be honest. It's near admirable for me. Roshan, you unbraid his hair. Saga goes on telling the story of the night. And that is where we are going to stop for today.
All right.
Thank you all so much for being with you.
Oh
The second I stop DMing, my brain fully turns off.
I understand. I get that same
The
feeling.
problem is difficult, Thank you all so much for being here with us. I'm waiting to see if I received a message that I don't think I received. But we have other shows here at the Dice Cult. Frank, could you tell me what happens on Tuesdays? And Saga, I'll get to you.
okay.
Every so often on Tuesdays we play at 6:30. Should be happening tomorrow night. Legends of Theia. Getting towards a bit of a revenge story. Players have been looking for their friend for some time. They finally found their friend in a very bad state, near death, and now they are taking their friend back, and perhaps they're even going to try their friend for murder because a wizard had died, and everything points to their friend, which is why they're looking for their friend in the first place. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night.
Yeah, everything's getting spicy on all these episodes of D&D. Also, hey, Abby, what's happening on Wednesday?
Oh, I'm back. I'm talking about Wednesday again because we're having a mini series. Wow. Burr, burr, burr. Yes. So there will be a 6-part prequel to the historical series that a few of the people that are on this show were on. And so we will see that the first episode is airing this Wednesday. If you see our YouTube channel, you can see a promo that I may have made for it if you want to look at that. And also there might be a new special guest that nobody has ever seen before on that Wednesday show. You'll have to see. But watch with us. We're all going to be there watching in the audience with you. So,
What time?
oh, that's 7:30 Central. That's my time. I don't know what your time is, but figure it out.
No. My brain fully stopped because I've been trying to convert everybody to Eastern. I've been trying my damnedest. But we will have notifications if you follow us. You will certainly be aware of when it is happening.
Yep.
Also, if you're looking for something a little different, this week is full of a bunch of something different. But instead of some Dungeons and Dragons and some history, on Saturday, we have our Spooky Scary Vampire the Masquerade and the Last Remaining Light. Somehow, astoundingly, all of the coterie is still alive. And an
Y'all haven't
anomaly.
died yet?
Thoroughly. Everybody lived. Somebody is
Amazing.
full of holes, but living the dream. So, you know, it all worked out is what's important. And whoever has to CSI that scene later, good luck to them, because good luck. But if you're interested in that, Vampire the Masquerade goes up every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to keep up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. On Twitter, we keep you updated and what's about going on. And if you want to keep up and see what's happening on Wednesday, that's at the Dice Cult on Instagram and Twitter. And if you want to look at stuff from us on Instagram, we have a bunch of art of all of the players and characters and NPCs and maps. It's all good fun if you want to come check it out. Thank you all so much for being here with us tonight. We really appreciate it. And we love getting to tell you guys a story. And I think it's good fun. We'll see what happens next time. I'm sure it's good and healthy for everybody's bones. So we are
Probably.
here always, same time, same
Bones?
at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys for being here, and I hope you guys have a good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, cultists.